Right. So, hello everybody, and welcome to another, not the first episode for 2025. So, this is me wishing you
Oh,
all a happy new year. Um, yeah, I know it's in February, but this is the first event for the year. So, this is where I get to say happy new year to our new and old uh community, because I know we are growing. So, all the new community of changing the narrative. My name is F1 Ponsa, and your lovely host. And I'm happy and I'm glad to have you on my screen for you to listen to me again, and for me to also be able to connect with you once again when it comes to sharing opportunities overseas in terms of students and exploring the world, the scholarships out there, um, the opportunities out there that student can take advantage of when it comes to those living overseas, either wherever you are or on the globe, because someone might be in the UK but could get opportunity in US that makes you an international student. So it doesn't always have to be from Africa or the third world country. Everyone can be an international student at any time. So welcome once again to changing the narrative, and I'm very excited about today because our guest will be the first guest that is sharing their story from a country other than the US, UK, Canada, Australia, Austria, and all these fancy European countries. He is in Japan, and I am very delighted to have him here. I did warn him though last year that guess what, you're gonna be my first guest. He thought I was joking, and here we are, having him on our screen to share his story and the opportunities out there. So if you're looking for opportunities and you've not considered Japan, stay glued to your screen. We are live on YouTube as well. I will be sharing the links very soon. But share this with your friends on other people looking for opportunities. The US, UK, Canada, and all these fancy places are saturated. They are, look for things that people are not even looking for. And I always tell people, if you know the course that you want to do, a country that you never envisioned to go is doing better than the loud ones out there. Guess what? Choose that one because you can go and make a difference, and you probably learn more from that than just going to where the noise is. So today, this evening, on your screen, is myself, Ifan Ponsa, and my lovely guest Solomon Idan, whom I love to call Ifo Japan, and I've loved
yeah,
that name since he moved to Japan. So welcome, Solomon, and thank you so much for agreeing to do this with me, because I know it's the early hours in the morning over there, and you had to wake up early just so that you can do this with me. I appreciate it. It's only me that will worry you like that. So thank you very much
yeah.
for allowing me to worry you. So, Solo,
Okay.
without
Thank
wasting
you
much
very
more time,
much.
kindly introduce yourself.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Solomon Idan. I'm from Amosima. One small town in Central Region, and we are popularly known for the production of fancy kenke. So anybody that
Nice.
is in Central Region, when you mention Amosima, one thing that comes in mind is fancy kenke. And here we are, by the grace of God, we have moved from that small town to another man's country.
Hmm.
So I would like to, acknowledge all those who are watching us. In fact, God bless you for having time for us, and I hope this session will open another door of opportunity to all of you, so that you won't be just focusing on the Western side and American side, but at least you can also look out for Asia,
Hmm.
especially Japan, to also explore the opportunities over here. But before I start the whole thing, I never thought that I would come to Japan because Japan wasn't part of my plan. I wanted to go to America specifically.
Of course.
So I started the whole study abroad journey when I completed my undergraduate in 2020. So that year, I started my first application, got some school in the United States and UK. But unfortunately, funding is one of the difficult things to get as a business student. I'm making it
mm,
specifically.
mm,
So I couldn't proceed to the next level. So I have to try again in 2021 into 2022. So that one too, I got some partial scholarship, but unfortunately, I was denied visa at the American Embassy.
oh,
So the next thing I decided to do is that in my third attempt, if I don't get funding, I'm not even worried to even proceed to the processing aspect. So I got some small funding, but looking at the deficit, it was too huge, and I knew it could also trigger another issue. So I
mm,
decided not to even try. And my fourth attempt, I decided to explore Japan. I
mm.
was just going through a friend's
Fourth
profile.
attempt.
Yeah,
Wow.
I was going through a friend's profile on LinkedIn and I saw the person is attending the school I am currently. So I decided to give it a try. And my first attempt in Japan, I was able to secure full funding. I would say just by the grace of God, because I was shocked. It wasn't part of my
Mm,
plan. And because it wasn't part of my plan, I didn't get opportunity to study more about Japan, because all my mind was not Japan. My focus was in America and my focus was studying how life in America looks like. But I
mm.
didn't do Japan. So when I came in the first day, I was actually struggling.
Wow.
I arrived in Japan around 9 p.m. And when I came, the people at the counter, Fukuoka International Airport, they don't know how to speak English. So I have to speak English, then it will be translated into Japanese
Wow.
before they get it. So at that night, I was stranded because I had nowhere to go, and then the airport too closes. But one thing that I really enjoy about the Japanese at that day was that they are very caring. In fact,
Mm,
these people helped me to locate a cafe. The cafe has a bit of small room that you can
mm.
sleep in there, and also some laptop if you want to do something with your computer. So these people helped me and other colleagues that I met that we were going to the same school
Oh,
to
okay.
locate this place. Then we lodged there. Then the next morning we came back to the airport for the school bus to take us back to campus. So, in fact, coming to Japan, I've really noticed a lot of things here. Japanese are very nice people. In fact, they are very nice, and then they really respect. It was this place that I saw customer service at the highest level. They
Mm.
really appreciate customers. You cannot go to a shop and you not hear thank you. They say arigato gozaimasu everywhere that you pass. Thank you.
What did they say?
Arigato gozaimasu. Arigato.
I thought you were singing. Don't mind me.
Just just pass somewhere and you want to buy something.
Mm.
You don't buy and start leaving, they'll still say thank you. And they are very
Wow.
nice. But with this session, I would like to, I tried as much as possible to explore Japan,
Mm.
how things are, so that people will know how Japan looks like. So when they plan to visit Japan, it's not like they are coming and they have so much expectation and they will be here and then all of a sudden, boom, they are busted.
Mm.
So Japan, in terms of population, they are about 124 million people. And the foreigners here are not many. We are just 3.2 million. Where I am currently, I'm in Beppu City, in Oita Prefecture. The Ghanaians won't be more than 20.
Really?
We are not, yeah, we won't be more than 20. We are just
Wow.
few people. So the foreigners don't really come here. And even the day I
Mm.
went to do my visa processing, it was very simple and easy. I don't need to book any appointment online. What I have to do is that I have to come to the embassy,
Mhm.
show them my document, then I'll just apply the visa online. It's like a PDF format. You apply, you print, you
Oh.
bring it to them. Then, if all your documentation are okay, you get a
Mm.
visa within a short period. Very simple,
Really?
very simple. And then another thing is that Japan is facing a population crisis. Right now, the
Okay.
issue of Japan is that they have a lot of aged people. Where I am
Mm.
right now, when you go out, you see aged people all over.
Mm.
And these people, some are 70 and they are still working because they have labor shortage, which I
Yeah.
believe international students can take it as an opportunity to explore Japan. Then the next thing is that Japan too is experiencing low birth rates. They don't like giving birth because they love their job. I've never
Mm.
seen people loving job than Japanese. These people they love work. It doesn't matter if they have to sacrifice their family for work.
Mm. Wow.
Every day they are going to work. And I love their work culture. And the next thing is that since I came, I mean, Japan has been experiencing inflation rates. The senpai I came to be, senpai means the seniors. They
Mm.
said Japan is now, I mean, experiencing this kind of shock because for the past 20 years or 2 decades, they have not experienced inflation. So now when you go to the grocery shop, things have become a bit expensive. And when inflation goes up, other stuff is also affected.
It's also
But
affected. Yeah.
although accommodation might not be really expensive, but the utilities and other stuffs,
Mm.
I mean, add up to make it a bit expensive. And Japan too have been experiencing a bit of economic stagnation, though it's not like what the developing nation will be experiencing, but one way or the other, it also affects the way things are run in the country.
Mhm.
And as I said, they have labor crisis due to the aged population. And there's a possibility that Trump can also shock Japan because now Trump is now the enemy of the whole world. He's fighting everyone. And that's another thing about Japan. And one thing is that Asia, I mean, region are more cultural based people. So if you want to come to Asia, you must at least have something about the way they do their things.
Mm.
Number one, Japanese, they value Japanese language than any other language.
Yes, that's true.
If you speak English, I remember last 2 weeks, I wanted to check one or two documents at one of the municipal assembly. So I went there, I greeted in Japanese, and I was asking where I should go. Then all of a sudden, the person spoke Japanese, and I'm lost. So I have to find another person. I'll be like, and that's a ego hanashimasuka. Like I'm asking the person if the person speak English. And the person was like, no. And I was frustrated. And but when they send you mail, the mail is also in Japanese. They don't add any English guide, except maybe the whole, I mean, package requires some kind of preparation before you go to the municipal assembly. If it's not the case, everything is Japanese. So you have to use your translator. And
Mm.
one thing is that Japanese people are friendly, but they are not open. It doesn't matter
Okay.
of they showing you the kind of care you need or maybe helping you, but to open up is very difficult unless they have built, I mean, a trust relationship with you before they
Mm.
can actually, I mean, become your friend. And the next thing is that they respect, okay, and also they believe in hierarchy, authority. You have
Mhm.
to pass
Mhm.
through the channel. If you don't pass through the channel, it will not be easy for you. And they also prioritize punctuality. When you come to Japan, they have built their system in such a way you have no excuse to tell your boss that you are late because there's no traffic. I
Okay.
barely see traffic on the road. There is train with tunnels, and within 8 minutes or 10 minutes, you have reached to your location. So There is no excuse to tell your boss that you were late for work because the system is working. Then
Mm.
the next thing is that they prioritize group than individualism. They want to work in teams. They don't
Yeah.
like individual stuff. And Japanese are hardworking. As I told you, they prioritize their work over even marriage. Then customer service. That is the beautiful thing me I love. Customer service. And the next thing is that in Japan, you don't tip someone. If you tip someone, it's an offense.
It's an offense.
So you cannot tip anybody. What they receive, they believe is okay for them.
Mm.
And Japan is a silent environment except Tokyo and other major cities. Where I am, you not even hear noise. The place
Wow.
is very serene and silent. But one disadvantage is that because the place is silent, if you don't have anybody to talk to, it is likely that you'll be depressed because everyone is inside their room or
Yeah.
having it.
Very family oriented. Yeah.
I tell you. And then the next thing is that I've never seen in my life that in a public transport they have a seat that they have captioned for aged, people with disability, pregnant women, and mothers with infant babies. So that seat, if you sit and then you see those people coming, they have written priority seat. You cannot sit. You have to get up and these people will sit on.
Yeah.
So
They
how
have
for
that
their
in
respect
the UK as
house.
well.
And then in terms of garbage, you don't have dustbins outside, but the town is clean. They have
What?
this kind
So
of they don't
how
have
is it
dustbin.
clean without the dustbins?
You
Wow.
can't throw, you can't litter around. And
So you put it in your
when I
bag.
came, they gave me four different kinds of polythene bags. We
Mm.
have one that have combustible items, others that are non-combustible, others that we use for let me say uh, clothes that you are not using and other materials, and you have others that we use for maybe electrical gadgets and other stuff. So before you go and throw your refuse, you have already segregated it in your room.
Mm.
So there's no dustbin outside. Maybe unless you go to campus and then on campus they have the dustbin. That one they have also separated it. So you cannot throw any item into the dustbin. It
Mm.
must specifically meant for that particular dustbin. So the place is very clean. The place is very clean. I'm hoping that Ghana we will learn from that. Then
Ghana has a lot of countries to learn from. Africa as a whole, to be honest.
and I got opportunity to see what is very interesting about Japan, so that people who wants to come to Japan, they will know Japan. They have a high quality educational system. You know,
Mm.
the schools they prioritize a lot of experiential learning. They don't just give you theory. You
Mm.
have to practicalize it, and at the end of the day you become a problem solver. It's not like you are going to learn and then you come
Chew,
and
pour,
pour.
pass, and forget.
Yes, it doesn't work here. And they have also embraced artificial intelligence in academia, though
Wow.
some lecturers don't really let students use artificial intelligence, but they say that students can use it to actually do some brainstorming ideas and other stuff concerning whatever project they have been given to. And then Japan is very green.
Mm.
Everywhere you pass, they have grown trees.
Mm.
So when I landed in Fukuoka and I was coming to my countryside, where I live is a countryside, it's a village. And I could see tree all over. I was like,
Mm.
wow. And all their waters are very clear. The water that I drink in my dorm is a stream.
Wow.
The stream that we are destroying in our country is just a stream.
Hmm. Hmm.
And they have done some purification and we are using.
You're using it.
There's
Wow.
so many water bodies around Japan.
Mm.
And the interesting thing is that my school is on the mountain. So I have to always take a car to the mountain every day.
Hey, you're
And Japan, they
sightseeing
have,
every day.
yeah. And they have healthy food as well. Their
Yes.
food is very healthy. I hope the day I'll leave Japan, I'll lose weight because I don't get more oil food to eat here.
Hmm.
They eat, I mean, when you buy food, they'll give you soup. Every food that you buy, there is soup attached. Then they have good healthcare system. As a student, every semester I have to go and check up.
Wow.
If I don't check up, they will penalize me.
Hey,
So I have to check up and see my eyes, every part of my body, if everything is okay. They'll give me my
that
results.
that's great.
So one of my professors says that in Japan, if you come here, here's the place that you can get the best medical system, and also it's very cheap. If I
Mm.
go to any hospital and I'm being billed, I have to pay only 30%. The government will cover me 70%.
Wow.
And then
Wow.
there are so many mountains,
Mm.
so many mountains in Japan. In Japan, to have beautiful tourist sites, especially I went to a particular shrine. Those who are believers don't say I'm backsliding. The tourist site,
No
the way they
comments.
have the way they have designed it, it's like it's so mind blowing.
Mm.
Ancient kind of shrine, and the way like the Japanese movie that we watch and the way they have designed stuff is the same thing that it is over here.
Mm.
And they also have hot spring. We call it onsen. It's like a warm bath. You just enter into the hot water and then you take a bath, and it's very therapeutic. So maybe if you are being stressed, you can go through those places to have those kind of bath, and then you'll be okay. Me, I don't go there because it's public. You have to, I mean, undress yourself and you bath with the
Brasolo,
same.
don't be shy. Don't be shy. You're enough. If you go to Rome, do what the Romans do. Go and get inside so that you can you can experience the culture.
And then another thing is that here there's low crime rate.
Mm.
Just put something there, nobody will pick it. Nobody will pick it.
Wow.
You come and meet the same thing there. And the last thing is that in Japan, there's natural disaster.
Mm.
Earthquake and tsunami is real. I've
Mm.
experienced two earthquakes so far. The
Two.
first
You
one,
only just been.
yeah, the first
And
one it
two
wasn't
already.
that.
Wow.
The first one it wasn't that. I mean, serious. I was just sitting in my chair typing, and all of a sudden I see the chair moving. Hey, what is happening? But the second one, the magnitude was very high. The
Hi.
building was actually shaking.
Wow.
But one thing I love about them is that they have put in place emergency response system,
Mm.
and everyone in Japan knows when there's tsunami and where they should go. Because as soon as there's a tsunami, your phone will be alerted.
Mm.
Your phone will be alerted that you need to flee from that place. And they have shown us where we should flee when there's any natural disaster. So I like about the way they have really, I mean, improved that they know they are staying in an earthquake prone zone and they have to find a way to live their life because that's the only place they have. And then they also, in Japan, how do I even say it? They have a bag, they have a red bag that they prepare for in case there's any emergency. So they'll
Emergency.
put some food, a bit of something inside. So if you don't know, you'll be there and then you flee to where you're supposed to go, and then the next time you are hungry, you don't have any food to eat.
Mm.
So it's something that they also taught us. And we have nice cities in Japan. As for Tokyo, I know everyone is aware of Tokyo.
Yeah.
There's another city called Kyoto, which was past capital city of Japan. Osaka is also here, one of the traditional places. Hokkaido is in the north and is one of the coldest places in Japan. If you want to see proper snow, that's the place. And then Hiroshima is another top city in Japan.
Yeah. It's very. I know that I've not been there, but I've heard that it's one of the common country places that people mention, Hiroshima and
Yeah.
Tokyo. That's the only two main cities. Yeah.
So I hope maybe one day I will visit all this top city because Osaka is on my list. I have to go there. Then they have better food over there, so I have to.
You're going for the food, I see. No, but Japan,
Exactly.
Japan has been on the list of, I think I spoke to you about this, the list of countries in Asia that I want to see with Singapore, China, Japan, and Hong Kong. Those those Asian countries are on my list. So hopefully I get to visit before you leave so I can have you to
I'll be
take me
glad.
around and do the speaking.
Please, by that okay, by that time my Japanese will be very good. I'm
Exactly. Yeah,
trying.
keep learning. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Now,
thank you.
now I want us to, look at the studying in Japan itself. I
Don't
think.
jump ahead of the interview. One sec. Let me speak to our viewers. Hey, Brasolo, you're in a rush. Eh?
No
Calm
guys,
down.
famous.
Let's interact with our viewers and our listeners. Thank you very much. Wow, we have, so from what I can see, we have more than 20 people online watching us. That's great. Thank you all very much for joining. So if you're just joining us, my name is Efua. I'm your host, and I'm here with Solomon Idan, who is currently a student, an MBA student in Japan. He's a businessman. He's a founder. He didn't mention all of that, but he is. And is it Business Bite? Correct me
Yeah,
if I'm,
business right.
yeah, business bite. Yes, and he's very good with how to make money from your side hustles, which I'm going to hassle him on another event on that with AAA. But he doesn't know that yet, but now he knows. So this is an informal invitation. Anyway, moving on. So we've been talking about opportunities in Japan, and he's done very well in giving us a brief background of how he got to Japan and the fact that it wasn't even on his list. Because I know everybody, majority, want to go to your Australia, USA, UK, and whatnot. And Japan is very untapped. I with every guest that I interview, I always do research on the countries. Even if I live in the UK and I still do research on UK because there's things changing. And I was shocked the things that I was reading when it comes to Japan. And I'm glad that Solomon has actually um, iterated it in terms of the aging um, population, the opportunities that are there in terms of technology and business as well. And I know Tokyo or Japan is very friendly from the people that have visited, the comments and reviews on the pages of certain hotels and whatnot when it comes to where tourists leave comments. Well, Tokyo, because that's where majority of the people visit. There's a lot of positive um, comments in terms of the friendliness, the culture, how polite they are. So it's great to hear it from someone that is already there, but there's always a downside when it comes to anything and everything that we have or we experience in life. You've got your natural disasters, but hey, US has got natural disasters. Canada is snowing and you can't even get out of your room. They experience wildfires as well. So there's these negative things everywhere that you go. And like it's been mentioned that there's always that readiness as well. And I know Japan to, you barely hear that there's been a disaster in Japan that they weren't ready for. They will mention it, but there's always like a quick reaction that they're able to evacuate and save more lives. So don't worry, your life is in hand. I mean, Solomon has experienced two earthquakes and he's still here with us. We shouldn't be joking about this, but anyway. Yeah, so um yeah, there's nothing to be afraid. That's what we're trying to say. But so before we go into the main topic, which is the scholarships, why you should consider it, the opportunities that are there, I've actually got a few. I've done research and I've got a few scholarships that I will share later on in a post. So what look out for that. So if Japan is not on your list, 2025, kindly put it on your list. I don't want to make this political. However, your US, we can all see the um the things that is happening over there right now due to change of government. So maybe Japan could be your saving grace. Japan could be the place for you, but pray about it. Obviously, maybe not all of us are meant to go and study in Japan. Pray about it. Do what you need to do, but give it a chance. Give it a thought. Don't rule it out, and experience it. You never know where your doors are going to be open, and you wouldn't have a government who wake up the next day and say, I've cancelled all your scholarships. So, um, yeah, consider it. Okay, let's engage with our community here. So, Edna, thank you for joining. Martina says, Arigato. Okay, thank you very much for your Japan, but I'm not going to try and mention that, but I know Arigato because,
Arigato gozaimasu.
yes, thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Japan. I like it. It was the same for me when I was there for training in Chukuba? Okay. Wow, Martina. We have another F4 Japan in the comment section. Thanks for sharing. Christian, thanks for joining. Oh, nice, nice, nice. Okay, so Christian is enjoying it. Priscilla says, wow, no traffic. I know, right? In this time and age, where is there no traffic? Wow. That's why you need to go to Japan. You won't say I was stuck in traffic and give excuses. They'll catch you out. You slept and you didn't wake up. So thanks for joining me, Salam. Michael says a country with very high values and standards. Yes, they're very well known for that. I think I saw a video of how they even take so much care about of your luggage in the airport. I was like, I don't want that job, but the fact that they even, go as far as caring so much for your luggage, that is amazing. That's why when I wanted to experience it for myself, because it's not everything that you see on the internet but
Let me cut in. Let me
yes,
cut in.
please. Yes, please.
I think there's one thing I forgot. Japanese, they love to acknowledge their mistake.
Mm,
If they do something wrong, it doesn't matter how old he is or
wow.
she is. She will apologize and say that it will never happen again. And trust me, she will never or he will never
I
repeat it
think
again.
I want to move to Japan. I can't. The grown-ups, what they accept their mistake. I'm moving to Japan. That's it. We even have a business idea, Solomon. Please find that shop. Let's go and start the business. I'm not joking. This is serious now. We need to. I'm moving to Japan. Who is coming? We got a business idea. Please, we need sponsorships and funding. Let's go. So Francis Nyako says, amazing. Yes, it is. Great submission, my boss. That's from Benjamin Kisi. Priscilla is still shocked. I know, Priscilla, check up, penalized. I know. Is it by force to go to hospital? Japan will force you to go for checkup. So let's all go. Please, so that we can find before any disease attacks you, surprise, they would already catch
Yeah.
you and sort it out for you. Wow. And then David says, wow. So thank you very much for all that is engaging in the comment section. Thanks for joining us and thanks for staying with us. So Solo, don't mind me. I'm
That's
like
why.
that. Yes, please.
Oh, no problem. It's nice. I'm seeing my friend from Botswana, Buket. I salute you, sir. And Richard, my former colleague at the
Okay.
public service. Yeah.
You've left
Um,
them to Japan.
many day. Anyway, the most important aspect I think a lot are looking up to is
It's
the
the scholarship.
studying
So yeah, let's
process.
go. Let's go to that bit.
So one thing that I've seen is that we shouldn't just apply because we are applying. We should apply with
Mm,
purpose.
mm,
So first of all, what actually do you want to become? If you're able to determine that you know that, okay, this program will actually fit me, this one will not fit me. Because when I was applying to America and I wasn't getting funding, I got friends suggesting to me that why don't I change my course? Then after I'm done with the course, I'll go and do the course that I want. But
ah,
I was also interested in going straight. I don't want to waste my time studying something that I believe I will not use. So that's the reason why I decided to detour to Japan. And then in Japan too, we have English taught courses, and then English, I mean, let me say institution that teaches in English.
Mm.
And we have institution that teaches in only Japanese. In
Wow.
our school, we do both English and Japanese. And then if you are looking for a school in Japan, you have to also check their ranking. Because
Mm.
when you go to a school with a higher ranking, it helps you to assess opportunities globally. And scholarship opportunities. The issue is that there's so many scholarships in Japan.
Mm.
And then we have part-time job. In Japan, the moment you get to the airport, the immigration point, then they will ask you, do you want to do part-time work? If you say yes, then they will stamp your residence card. They will do your residence card for you at the airport the day you arrive. If you want to do part-time job, they will stamp it on it for you. And in
Mm.
Japan, you can do 28 hours as an international student. But
Wow,
just
that's not
that
what in Europe.
you won't be able to do work in maybe top institution. You have to go to the warehouse and those kind of area
Mm.
because you don't need to communicate much in Japanese. But if you
Yeah.
want the real good job, you must know how to speak Japanese.
Mm.
Then Japan too, there are a lot of job opportunities. But one thing I would say is that you need Japanese to get a job in Japan. Japanese is very, very much important. And the first day we started our boot camp as an MBA student, what our supervisors told us was if you really want to have a career in Japan, you must know Japanese.
Mm.
So I have listed some few schools that they offer scholarship. And apparently, when you apply, some of the school gives tuition remission. They can even waive entire tuition for you. All that will be left with you yourself finding ways to pay your personal expenses.
Mm.
And there are so many external scholarships, both for public sector and private sector. So those who are working in the private sector, they normally get scholarship like the JICA scholarship. And this scholarship will fund you throughout the whole program. They'll give you laptop. They will also fly you back home after school. It's like you don't pay anything. It's free money from Japanese government. So
Wow.
I have listed 10 schools that I believe it will be important to explore those who want to study in Japan. I want to use my school as the first one, Ritsumeikan Asia Pacific University, APU for short. So we normally run business courses and sustainability and tourism courses, and those who are interested in international relations. If you are interested in this area, business, tourism, sustainability, and international relation, I think my school will be the best school for you.
Mm.
And aside that, we have University of Tokyo, we have Kyoto University. I wish I can copy and send it to you so that you post it on the comment section when I'm
Mm.
done.
Okay, sure. Um, yeah, go on. So I have a list as well that I was going to post after our
Oh, okay, okay,
yeah,
okay.
just in
No,
case you say something that I can add to the list. So don't worry.
okay,
Send it to
okay,
me and then I'll check it with my list as well. And
okay,
then
no
we will
problem.
share it after. Yeah.
Okay. We also have Kyoto University. You have Tohoku University. You also have Nagoya. Hey, this Japanese. Nagoya University. Osaka University, Hokkaido University, Sophia University, Waseda University, and then Kyo University. So these are the top schools that I selected based on English education and also
Okay.
scholarship opportunities.
Mm.
So my school per se, the graduate school of management, those who are interested in business, they only pick 40 students. They don't take more than 40 students.
Is it
And
40 international students or just
global
Oh,
40
wow.
students. and the application process is, I mean, a bit daunting. But if you're able to go through and you secure the admission, it will be okay for you
Mm.
to explore. And then they also offer scholarship to African students because they see how bright African students are, and then the good CGPA that we normally have at our undergraduate.
Mm.
So these are the 10 schools that I have selected. I know there are more than 10 schools, but based on the criteria, English, highly ranked, and also scholarship opportunity, these are the reasons why I picked. And I want to use my school as the case study because that is where I'm schooling, and I don't want to go deep into other schools. So APU, for instance, we normally have just one track for application. So applications start September, and by the middle of October, application closes. Sometimes the fall application runs through to March, but I will tell you that if you really want to get scholarship, apply from September to the middle of October. That is where you be considered for scholarship.
Mm.
Then they have to track. They have the spring and then they have the fall. So God willing, April the spring students will be coming.
Mm.
Then I mean, master's program here is 2 years, and you will do thesis. So those who don't want to do thesis, I beg you, you will do thesis. APU offer tuition remission, and the tuition remission start from 0 to 100%. So when your application and your SOP and everything is very good, you can receive 100% scholarship. That
Wow.
one, it doesn't come with maybe stipend. You just the tuition, you don't pay anything.
You don't pay
Just that
anything.
when you come in, you have to work
Mm.
and then pay your living expenses and other stuff. Then there are so many external scholarships. So we have scholarship like the MES scholarship, the one that I had. This scholarship is in twofold. We have one that the university recommend based on your application, and then the one that the embassy recommends. So what will happen is that with the university recommendation, it's based on your application. So if you have a good work experience, you have a good CGPA, and your SOP and research plan is very good, trust me, you get it. Me, I had 80% tuition remission. That's the
Wow.
first thing that I had. Then I was there thinking about how to pay for my admission fee because my school, when they admit, you have to pay admission fee of 200,000 yen.
What? How much is that in dollars?
That will be around divided by 150, or let me see. Let me say by 150. Let me check it. 200,000 divided by 150 is about 1,300, $1,300.
Wow.
$1,300. And after the admission fee, you have to also pay your accommodation and insurance upfront.
Mm.
So all these expenses will add up around either 400,000 yen or something.
Mm.
So one thing is if you get the external scholarship, the external scholarship will give you stipend. So what MEST did for me was that they paid for my flight. I applied for visa for free. I didn't pay anything for visa, and they also gave me some stipend to manage my living expenses.
Mm.
So more or less, they have catered for me. And also with med scholars, you can also do part-time job.
Mm.
Unlike other scholars like the JICA, they are prohibited from working. But with the med
Oh.
scholars, you can work. But one thing that they want to see is that it is not affecting your academics because every semester you have to upload your results to them.
Mm.
So that is APU. So I have some links here and I will share. It leads direct to the application site, and the processes and the kind of scholarship available, so that those who are interested should, I mean, go ahead and apply. And I want to send this to those who are interested in abroad school. I tell you, it's like a job on its own.
Tell
The
them.
amount,
Tell them.
the amount, the amount of money I've spent in this study abroad,
Hmm,
like 4 years ago, I started with like three schools. At that time, my senior brother was, I mean, fresh from the US, so he connects me with colleagues to pay my application fee for me. But it got to
mhm,
a time he also saw that he is overburdening his friends over there. So I have to pay my own application fee.
hmm,
So it is something that you need to, I mean, invest time, you need to invest, I mean, resources. If you think you can't do it and you know someone who can do it, pay the person to do for you.
hmm,
And if you think you can do it, just sit your ass down and work it out. It is not difficult. You can sit down. Let me say, if the application lasts within 2 weeks, you can start from the process. You fill your bio data and other stuff. And if you think that maybe the research plan that will be difficult for you, you just draft something, find someone who has done it before, let the person review for you. If it is okay, then you upload it and then you send it. Because if you think that you'll be there and then you get admission, I'm lying to you. I'm lying to you. Some of us we don't sleep are
hmm.
done and we are still applying, and we will receive broken heart message that we reject that you couldn't qualify, blah blah blah,
Unfortunately, we have.
and we still continue to do it. So if if there's any question you can ask, and
Yes, thank you
one
very
last
much.
thing,
Hmm,
sorry, one last thing about job opportunities.
hmm.
I want to
That would be the
sound to
next
everybody.
phase. One sec. That would be the next
Oh,
phase.
okay.
Don't
Oh,
jump.
sorry,
Don't
sorry,
worry.
sorry.
For Japan, please calm down, okay?
I'm
Let's
sending you
inter.
the link.
Okay, sure. Thank you. Let's interact with our viewers and listeners. So yeah, thank you very much all for joining. So if you're watching us or if you're listening and you know you're not sure how to start, where to start, or you've got questions, burning questions that you do not want to ask in the comment section, what I would advise is connect with Solomon, connect with him on LinkedIn and ask the questions. And I'm going to say this, ask specific questions, right? Don't go and say, can you write my SOP for me? Can you up? No, don't do that, because that means you're taking yourself out of the whole process. And to me, it only shows that you're not ready for grad school, because with grad school, you have to be ready to put in the work. And I always tell people to get involved with the application. The reason being, it's not just for if you're applying to Japan. The reason being that graduate school involves a lot of writing, a lot of research, regardless of the course that you want to study. So when it comes to the process of you finding and applying, it is, I would say, use that as a learning phase, and you getting ready for what is ahead of you when it comes to when you do get the opportunity, when your years comes and you do go to study for your course. Because Solomon, unless it's different in Japan, where you don't write a lot or read a lot, so
Me, the process is
he
very
says
tight.
yay.
You find
He says yay.
if you don't
You'll
have the
come to
voice, you
that.
give up.
Mm. Exactly. So when it comes to researching for for the scholarships, or even the universities you want to go, the countries you want to go to, all these things, or the process is to build you up for what graduate school what graduate school is all about. So this is why I always tell people to get with the process. Don't go. It's easy to pay someone to do it for you, but you won't be doing yourself any favor. And like I'm saying, I don't want to sound brutal, but that's the truth. You're not doing yourself any favor, and you're not ready for grad school. Anyway, that's me done with what I want to say. So moving on, let's see what's up in the comment section. So Richard says, what will you recommend to statistics students? Like which school? I think that's for you. Um,
Statistics.
yeah.
You want to scream me up? I think I have not really. I want to be honest with you.
Mm,
My focus is on business students, but you check. I think I have 10 universities that I will share. So kindly go through to. Let me share with you info so that you put it in the comment section. 10
sure.
universities that they can get funding, so that they
Mm,
will have the time to check if they offer statistics.
sure. And
Sorry,
most of the time, when you go on the official website of these universities, you would see what they offer. And a simple Google search of universities in Japan that offer statistics, it's it will bring you something. It will bring a few options for you to now to narrow your search. And don't be afraid to use Google to search these things. A lot of the things that I post, or I can't speak for other people, but a lot of the things that I post, it's a simple Google search with the right um keywords, or what is the word? What's the word I'm looking for? Prompt, and it brings a whole lot of lists, and then I go through them, and I'm not even looking for scholarship, and I'm doing this research. So those of you that don't want to do it, I don't think you want it. If you do, you would do the research. So Richard, I hope your question has been answered. Edna says, so you haven't seen your boss either. Madam, we salute you.
me, I want my
And
hair. Me, I want my hair.
Edna, we won't mind you. I'm speaking for both of us. So Edna says earthquake. Oh, please. So the thing is, there are risk everywhere, right? Everywhere. US has wildfires. They experience earthquake as well. Canada, like we mentioned with the snow, they experience fires as well. So um I mean, even though we've mentioned it, I don't think it's enough to scare you away. We've not heard any bad thing happening to anybody. It happens. These are part of our natural. There's flooding in many places in the world as well. So Edna, don't worry, don't be scared of earthquake. Go and you pray. You are scared of earthquake. We'll have this conversation later. I'll come for you. Henry says, I want to see clarification on some questions. Please put in the comment section. And like I mentioned, if it is something that you don't want us to read or share now, you could go add Solomon on LinkedIn, connect with him, and I'm sure he'll be available to explain further on these questions or burning questions. Richard says, I really miss you, Solo. Aww. Um,
It's my body.
you've left him. Henry says, good presentation. Thank you, Henry. Richard, very insightful and brief introduction. Yes, it was straight to the point. Um, I think I've read these ones. Yes. So thank you all very much. So if you have any questions, please do put it in the comment section, and we will take time to
That's a
read it and
question.
then answer it. Well, I'm not seeing it then. Which one is it?
There's a question about BEd accounting student. Okay, so with BEd accounting students, you can still apply to MBA programs. Normally, they require work experience. Okay, so if you have a solid CGPA and maybe
I've seen it
one
now.
or two work experience, you can get into it. The issue is that when you have more work experience, that is when you're able to get more funding. Those who don't
Mm,
have enough work experience, they only get like 50% scholarship.
mm,
So you try as much as possible. You can get it. Yeah.
mm. And okay, I've got a question for you, but I'll ask after this. So I think I didn't put it at most recent. I just left it as relevant. So yeah, Christian says even if it is the Lions, then we will enter. Enter, I beg you go. You Even the burning fire furnace, enter. You got Christ with you, the fourth man in the fire. So yes, I mean there's risk everywhere, like we're saying. So don't be afraid, okay? Christian, I'm with you. You go enter. My question was, I know for I'm familiar with Europe and the US. I know you can do, or you can combine more than one scholarship, especially if you've got two funded or three funded, and it can come together to sort of take some of the financial burden off you. How is it like in Japan?
Okay, so in Japan, if you are awarded a full funding, you
Mm.
cannot accept any scholarship from anyone. Even if they will call you and give it to you that you deserve it, you have to decline. Because
So
when you
that's full
accept,
scholarship.
yes, when you accept, you're actually truncating the one that you are holding.
Okay, so
And
how about partial ones?
okay, so for instance, my school, they offer tuition remission.
Mm.
Then they also offer another scholarship called the Justo Scholarship. So it's like every semester you'll be given some stipend. I think about 49,000 yen for the whole semester, and it is renewable based on your performance. So unless you are on maybe this partial scholarship, you can receive any other scholarship and add up. But if you are full scholar, you cannot accept any other scholarship from any other institution.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. That's a bit restricting, but I guess it's better than nothing. Every country has got, but the fact that there's fully funded ones, that's good. And i- in the UK, you're only allowed 20 hours as a student to work.
Oh, I
But
see.
yeah, the only, and it's the same as the US and most European countries anyway. It's only 20 hours. Um, and you're restricted on anything else. So my
Japan
next
is
question,
28.
yeah, so which gives you more hours to experiment, or make some money back for your upkeep, which is good. So my next question is, after your education, how is it like? Are you going to be sent back, packing your bags to come back home, or so that was
And,
serious? Why are you laughing? Or
oh,
there's
question.
or how is it like, how many months can you there is the COS visas now, the sponsorship visas now, and then you have 6 months after. Don't quote me, this is for different countries anyway, but how is Japan like after your education?
Okay,
Are they
so
lenient?
okay, let me take this route. My study is for 2 years,
Mm.
and I have 3 months extra to stay in
Okay.
Japan before I leave. So this is how Japanese do their own. If you get a job and the company file for your working visa, then you will stay. You won't go.
Say that
And
again.
for most scholars, like if you get a job
Mm-hmm.
before your visa expires,
Mm-hmm.
then the company will file for your working visa for you, and there's no need for you to go back. You can stay
Okay.
and work. But if you don't get it, means that you have to go back and re-enter again if you want to come back.
So you can't extend your visa there. You have to go back to your country and reapply for a visa.
Okay. If you are extending it, it means that you are sure of getting a job.
Okay.
For job hunting, for instance, they can give you like up to 3 to 6 months after your visa expire for you to job hunt. But you have to apply. So, for
Mm,
instance, after 2 years, I have to apply because you have to. Let me say you need 3 months in advance to be able to apply for that extension, so that they will let you, I mean, job hunt and get a job.
mm,
But one thing about Japan too is you must be able to speak the language, because
mm.
all the job advert that they will share fluent in Japanese and English, fluent in Japanese and English. Unless it's an international company, that
Mm,
wants you to deal with clients outside Japan. So let's say I'm working for a company that is dealing in Africa, and
mm,
maybe I'm one of their managers in Africa. Africa English is, I mean, widely spoken, so it becomes easy for me. But if I want to stay in and work for a Japanese company, a typical Japanese company,
mm.
then my Nihongo should be good. I have to speak the language.
Wow.
And they have a limit. They have N2. N2 is like getting closer to uh, the last part of the advanced level. So you should be able to write and you should be able to speak because all their report and everything is in Japanese. But
Mm,
always I say like though the rules are there, but life anything can happen. It's
mm-hmm,
unpredictable. We have some people who were not speaking proper Japanese, but they are working. They have job
mm,
that they are doing. So it's about the grace of God and also positioning yourself. So, for instance, in my school, for instance, if they do career or job fair, I try to participate because
mm,
the companies that come, they will send email to the career office to share across board with people who participated so that they will apply for internship opportunity. And when you
mm.
get opportunity to get internship, it is highly likely that if there's job opportunity, you can be considered in the organization. So it's about positioning the grace of God.
Wow. Wow. I saw a question in there that relates to what you just mentioned. Transcripts. Since everything seems to be around the obviously the Japanese language, transcripts, did you have to translate it or how did they accept it as it is?
No, please, you don't have to translate your transcripts. You send it to
Okay.
them English. Yeah.
All right.
But
Oh,
just
that's
that
good.
one thing they do is
Mm,
in Japan, when you apply and you upload all your, I mean, materials online and you get admission, you have to do
mm.
notary and
What's that?
certified true copies. Certify
Okay.
like the photocopy of your certificate and other stuff with commission of oath stamp
Hmm.
on it. Then you send it to them. So whatever that you upload, they will also need the hard copy as well. So that's how
Okay.
they operate. So it's very cost intensive. So those who want to apply to Japan, prepare financially. Though the funding is there, but you also have to commit some resources to make it
Hmm.
a success. Yeah.
And it's the same with the US, UK, and many of these other African countries out there. Because with the US, you do get most of the, pardon me, you get the, I don't know, my voice is going, sorry. You get, you have to apply for either a fee waiver, but most of the application has got application fees, right? So, and you're investing in yourself, right? You're investing in yourself. So don't think that everything comes on a silver platter. This is an investment in your education, in yourself, and my the bulk of it, is going to come from somewhere else. Like your tuition fee, which is more costly, your accommodation if you get them fully funded, and sometimes too, when you're lucky, you get the stipend. So the least you can do to invest in the process is for you to pay for these little things, and then you're building or you're setting yourself up for your own future. So it's not just in Japan. It's study abroad in itself can be cost intensive. I mean, you investing your time to do research it comes at a cost. That is a cost that, but to whose benefit is to your benefit. So it's a no-brainer. One thing that I would say is if you're considering it, don't wait for the opportunity to come before you prepare. Like Solomon said at the beginning, in case you missed it, he said he did not research enough on it and then got to the airport and couldn't express himself. So if it is something that you're considering, maybe you should start, familiarizing yourself with basic Japanese expressions, you can use Duolingo. You can go on YouTube. I learn a lot of things on YouTube these days. It's unbelievable. The amount of videos on YouTube. I saw a funny post where a doctor tried to um was it or do an operation by watching a YouTube video. That I didn't even know you there's all of that on there where you can watch how to operate from YouTube. But there we go. So spend time. I always say to people that if something means a lot to you, we are all busy. We have been using busy for it's beginning to get on my nerves. You're not busy. You're just finding an excuse. If it means something for you or to you, you will find time. An hour of your day on something that you want to achieve on your own future is nothing, right? How many hours do we spend scrolling through Facebook, scrolling through Instagram, watching things that or consuming things that would even benefit us in the long run? So you're not busy. Find time, invest in your application, ask the right questions. Sometimes you make a post and people come to ask you things, and I'm like, I just made a post. You clearly haven't read it. Go and read it, then come to me with a specific question. That's not me being rude. That's me telling you to do your part and then see where it goes. So it's the same thing here that we're saying. 2025, no more excuses. Go and throw yourself out there at the opportunities that you're seeing. You're not underqualified, you're not overqualified. You're the right person, you're the right candidate. Don't talk yourself out of it. And I know some people start and then they get weary. Solomon did say this was his fourth attempt and then he got it. So imagine if he had given up on the third attempt, that fourth attempt that he got would not have, materialized for us to have him this evening talking to us. So 2025, no more excuses. Get to it. When you want to cry, cry. We'll cry with you, and then you wipe your face, and then you get back to the next application. Um, and then pray about it, but put your mind to it. Keep going, and don't give up until you actually get that yes, and I know it's going to come. And one thing that changing the narrative is going to do differently this year is um, the guest that we're going to have would have been a guest that has um, won a scholarship, a particular scholarship, right? And then you come with specific questions on that scholarship. This would prevent us from doing the normal, the usual thing where we are always going, tell us about yourself. But Solomon's one is different because we've never had anyone from Japan. Your US and that it's been a lot, which is always a common theme. So this year, even if you're not well prepared for scholarship this year, in terms of its application. You can use this year to prepare yourself and then put your best foot forward for next year, especially those that are in your third years, your fourth years, because then you have to do your service as well. So it gives you time to make the right choices to put to make the best plans or the proper plans to be able to put yourself in a best position in order to be the right candidates for these scholarships. So man, let's go to the next bit, Solomon.
Okay.
So now, how many you said it's 2 years for
Yeah, two
masters?
years.
Normally masters is 1 year, unless you're
Not in
doing a
Asia.
part-time.
Okay.
Hey, these people,
Not
they're
in
very
Asia. The curriculum
okay.
is very intensive, I tell you.
Mm,
I did 10
well,
courses a semester.
hey, there you go. There you go. There you have it, folks. They will let you. But you see what? That's why they're best at what they are best at. You know, that's one thing that I've learned with these Asian countries that they take their time. I mean, look at the way they prepare their food. They don't rush and just throw anything in. Everything is very strategic, even in their cooking, and it takes time. But then you come out with a very great outcome. The final product is great. So it's 2 years. So bear that in mind. Whereas most European and US or your Canada is 1 full year when it comes to masters, unless you're doing your sciences, which I know takes 2 years for some programs. So there you have it. Uh, Bear that in mind. And another thing that I want to ask is, you said that it's not very theory based. You do get practical skills as well, like hands on. So share some of your hands on experiences with us in terms of what you're studying and what opportunities that you've had hands on, and why you appreciate it in terms of when you come out, what is preparing you for.
Okay, thank you very much. Last semester we had two, let me say, practical experience as part of the theory. One course marketing. So this is what the professor did. He took us to a company that manufactures liquor and wine for us
Okay.
to look at how the whole manufacturing process go through. And one thing I learned was that Japanese always plan things ahead
Mm,
and they know the target that they're achieving. So the production manager was able to tell us the quantity of liquor they produce per day
wow.
and why they produce it and even the processes that they go through. There's no human flair. It's just, let me say, full automation. It's only few things that you see a human coming in to put certain things in place, but it's full automation.
Mm,
And when we went to their wine, they told us that at first they were buying the grapes. Now they grow their own grapes.
mm,
Then after that they harvest and then they do their wine preparation. And you
mm,
could see they have like a full storage of wine, and it is so amazing. And Japanese are really smart people. The whole world, they are the number one people in terms of IQ. They are very smart, though they are very slow too, but they are very smart in terms of doing their own thing. Then the next thing was another one that we did with Yamaha. If you have been playing instruments, you know of
mhm,
Yamaha. Yeah. So Yamaha was facing an issue in the organization. So they contacted one of the professor in my school so that we, the students, will come up with solution for Yamaha.
okay.
So we were a group of, I mean, I think 5 to 8. Yeah, 5 to 8. So we design our solution, we prepare our PowerPoint, we did a YouTube for the PowerPoint. Then we did actual presentation in class where there were judges to judge the best solution. And that
Wow.
one too, it was very practical. You see, you
Mhm,
you move away from the theory to the outside box thinking, where you need to find ways and means to bridge the practical aspects of how the work will be and also
mm,
what you have learned in classroom. And at the end of the day, you could see students were having good ideas. And I believe that if we are encouraged to learn in this way, it will help us to be problem solver. I mean, I believe that education is not just going to read, get the best CGPA, and then we
mhm,
celebrate you. It's about you coming out to be a problem solver because the society has a lot of problem that needs to be solved. So if you are being trained in that way, I bet you, I mean, it will be better.
mm,
Because sometimes when you see a graduate and then the person cannot do anything, you ask yourself, why did you go in school? You could have even go to TVET. That one would have helped you because I don't really have hands-on, I mean, job or experience.
mm,
But I think I hope Ghana will also emulate from that. And also, they also do a lot of case competition. They do a lot of extra curriculum activity in Japan, especially those who are doing undergraduates. It is
mm.
compulsory to do extra curriculum activity. You have
Wow.
to. But in Ghana, it's not compulsory. You choose.
Hmm.
And the graduate school too, because our time is limited, they love to involve us in case competition like the Harvard Business Page, hackathon, and other stuff. So by
Mm.
the time you finish school, at least you have lived life outside just sitting down to read and write. Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive. That's impressive. So we've got a question. What about an what about a non-traditional student with dependents? Is there any opportunities to travel with dependents during studies?
Okay, so with a visa application, you can include a dependent. But I would suggest that you have to first of all come, study the environment first,
Mm,
get
mm,
settled, then you will bring your dependent. Because all my colleagues that have brought their wives and their husbands, what they did was that they came here first. I mean, stay like 2 to 3 months. Then they file for that kind of processes on their behalf. So I think three of my colleagues have seen their spouses come into Japan and they are working things out very beautiful. So
mm.
it's possible here.
Wow, that's great to know. That's great to know. That's I didn't even think of those questions with dependents. When you've got your whole family, because especially for PhD, is quite a long um course. When it comes to your
Yeah.
PhD students, you're looking at 4 or 5 years, some even 7 years. So imagine leaving your family behind. So with that, actually, I've got a question from that. Um, would do you know? It's okay if you don't know. Do you know if some of these scholarships would cover for your dependents to join you, or would you have to pay for them? And also, if you're to travel, I mean, let's use you for example. So that's one one question. The second question is, would would your scholarship cover for another return ticket to Ghana before you complete your education, or they only do the there and back and that's it?
Yeah, I have a return ticket. Yeah.
Would it be at the end of your course, or would you be able to go again before the end of? Because I know
Okay.
some of okay, it's because the UK and the most of these European countries, it's just the 1 year, so there and back, and that's it. But say PhD students, right? Some of the scholarships allow you like something in between just to visit your family, so you're not feeling homesick or you're not away from your family for too long. Is there
Yeah,
anything like?
I can go. I can go back to Ghana and come back. Just that I
Okay,
have to make sure that I fill a form at the airport that I return. Else I have to apply the visa again.
at your own expense or at the expense of?
Yes, at my own
Okay,
expense.
all right.
But if I'm
Okay.
going back to Ghana too, I have to go at my own expense because they have my data and then they know
Mm.
when I will graduate. So as soon as the graduation happens, they will send me my flight ticket. So if I decide
Wow.
not to go, then and it's passed and I'm going back, then I have to pay my flight ticket.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Right. So I don't think we have any more questions, but I am sharing um
I've sent you the link to
the link.
my.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I think I might have to do it after because I'm messing about with my phone and I don't know what I've copied. Just in case I paste all our conversations in the conversation. That's not gonna be good. You know what? I'll leave it and concentrate on on the on the program. So you know what? I've enjoyed myself. I don't know about everyone else, but I've enjoyed myself having this conversation with you, Solomon. And I know it's the early hours of the morning. So we're not gonna take too much of your time. This has been very insightful as to what to experience and what to look out for when it comes to um looking out for scholarship opportunities in Japan or in Asia. So without wasting much more time, we're going to wrap up. But I want you to share one. So I'm going to ask you about three questions in one. One, right? What you wish you had done differently. what you're grateful for being in Japan that you would encourage everybody else to do. Those that are in the process of getting this of considering this, what are your top tips for them? I hope you're writing these down because even me, I'll forget after doing this.
Yes, sir.
And because I've not written these questions down, this is coming on top of my
Okay.
head.
So what I should have done, what I'm grateful for, and the
Yeah.
top tips I want to give to those who want to come to Japan.
Yes.
Okay. So I think that what I should have done so far was to explore other opportunities. I mean, I was too concentrated on my, let me say, the place I want to be.
Mm,
You know, the whole thing. So I limited my option to other countries that may also offer better opportunities that will also help you to learn like the way you learn in other, I mean, country. So I would say that at least explore, cut your net everywhere. The one
mm,
that will bring you the best opportunity, you pray over it. If it is the will of God, then you move. Then the next thing is that I would say I've not regret coming to Japan because I wouldn't have seen that there are some group of people who really show the kind of respect and the kind of care because you go anywhere you don't know anybody and the
mm,
person will spend all his time to look for a place for you to sleep for the next day
mm.
and you don't have to give the person anything because the person is not
Anything.
asking
Yeah.
for. I mean, you understand because
Mm-hmm.
even back in our own country, if
Hmm.
someone show you direction, the person expect that
Yay.
you take from
Anything's
you.
more for the boys.
And like the person feels so good to help you without, I mean, anything in return.
Mm,
And then the next tip, the last tip that I will share is that I mean, if you really want to study abroad, I want you to be prepared first of all, mentally, psychologically, financially,
mm,
because the journey will not be easy. You get a lot of rejected applications.
mm-hmm,
Sometimes you get notification about funding, you apply, you pay your own criteria, you think that maybe you deserve it, and then you get a message or an email that makes you feel bad that we regret. We have moved on with
mm,
other better candidates. So all those period brings a lot of stress, and I can tell you I've gone through those stress. Sometimes when I open my email and I'm sad, I'll be at workplace and I'm sad because I was too optimistic that this one it will
mm.
work, but it doesn't
Yeah.
work. And also coming to a new country, there are surprises. I mean, it's not going to be an easy thing. Sometimes you have to go through a bit of depression and trauma because here is not your country.
Mm,
And before you settle in, you have to experience those kind of, I mean, periods so that you understand that you don't have to be too optimistic about moving from one place to another. So right now, if
mm-hmm,
I'm traveling to a new country, I won't be too optimistic because I know that those shocks and surprises will come. So until
mm,
I face them and I overcome, I will not be that too optimistic that oh everything will move so smoothly. Because when I came, my first 1 month was a bit rough, and it really
mm,
taught me a lesson that I mean every level that you go, there's something that you must meet to deal with. So that's a little thing. And so prepare financially. I mean, I believe that whatever that you want to do, you yourself must prepare for it and let other blessings from other sources come and complement. Because if you
mm,
don't prepare, it will really affect you. Because like you have opportunity and you don't have anybody to help you. That one is
mm,
very, very, very difficult. So that's the last thing I would say. So I wish you luck. You try. I believe that God will help you to secure, I mean, school and then funding. If Japan is the place that God has placed you in.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Thank you
Thank you
for hearing.
very much. Thank you so much, Solomon, for this opportunity to, have you as a guest, and sharing your story. And one thing that I've realized, it's you didn't hold back on what you know or you felt you did wrong, and for you to mention it out there. And that's one thing that is lacking on LinkedIn. Everybody shares all the glory, but it's not easy for people to bring their vulnerability out. And here you are saying you wish you had done this, you wish you had done that, and you're here making sure people that are considering this, those that are considering this, do not make the same mistake that you've made. And that is one thing that lacks in our society. I've heard a lot of people say we all went through it, go through it. We don't all have to suffer. Please cut down on the suffering, we beg. If you have any information, please share with us so we don't suffer. It's no good. But yes, so thank you very much. For those that are still with us, we hope you've gotten something out of this. With these sort of events, we can't cover everything. We just share the very basics with you, and it's for you to take out of it what you can, and then move with it what you want or how you want. You can watch it again on YouTube. If you've not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do, and you can watch our previous ones from last year to give you an idea of what to expect when it comes to study abroad opportunities. I share study abroad opportunities on my page. You can follow for more, or you know, there are other people out there as well. So if you're looking to study abroad, don't choose and look out for these people out there on LinkedIn that are sharing these opportunities so you don't miss out. And it will save you from also having to do loads of research without really knowing what you're looking for. We have Dr. Banda, we have let me see on my page. I follow all these people. I can only remember Dr. Banda because yeah, we have George, um, we have what's his name again? There's Nigerian names that I can't remember on top of my head, but if you follow me, I'll probably like their page and it will come on on your feed. Unfortunately, these names have gone out of my head. But yeah, Dr. Banda is good. He is very consistent about posting on but especially if you want to do where's it MPhil, he goes through all the processes. Like he's very, very um detailed on his post as well. So do follow him. And we have Dr. Oluwaseun as well, who also shares a lot on if you're looking for Commonwealth opportunities, Commonwealth scholarship, and um this Germany one. Again, it's got on top of my head because there's a lot of background things running out at the back of my head that I want to mention that I don't want to forget. But if you're starting if this is new for you, right? Take your time. Don't rush. You're not rushing to go anywhere. But take your time, understand the process so that you don't burn yourself out, so that you're just not casting your nets anywhere, but you be strategic on where you're casting and investing your energy as well. And as Solomon said that at the beginning, it was when he was advised to just pick anything. No, this is going to be a year of your life or 2 years of your life. Don't just pick anything. You know, it's better to use that 1 year that you go and study your course that you don't like to maybe get um a an experience, a work experience, than to go and study something that you know is not going to benefit you. So sometimes these advices out there, it might sound good at the time because you're desperate, but trust me, it won't help you. There's more that you can do with that time than just to cast your net anywhere. And also, I do proofreading. Um, if you need someone to proofread, let me know. You can reach out to me. If I'm not capable or if I can't do it at the time that you need it, um, there are God being so good. Uh, Thanks to LinkedIn as well, we've made connections that are open to mentor and help students when it comes to going through these scholarship opportunities or looking for opportunities in overseas. My name is Efwa. I'm the team leader for AAA Foundation. This hoodie that I'm wearing is part of our collection. Please do look out for us on www.aaa.group.com. We ship worldwide. The proceeds from these clothing goes towards our initiatives like Girls in ICT, Pad the Girl campaign, Empower Her, saving, not saving, supporting street connected kids to go back to school, and many other initiatives and projects that we embark on. So look out for us and do follow our pages out there. And if you were looking to be a volunteer also, we are those or sponsorship. At the moment, we're very keen on sponsorship and partnerships. So kindly reach out to us and let's make impact together. Solomon, thank you very much. So your
You're welcome.
final wrapping up encouragement and motivation for our followers before we end the call.
Okay, so first of all, I want to thank all the listeners today. In fact, I cherish your time, and I want to, encourage you that, this study abroad journey is not going to be easy, but if you commit it into the hands of God and also you put in the work, I believe it will work.
Mm.
Sometimes you have to go through these phases for you to understand about surprises in life so that when it comes at you, you won't be that bothered. It will be like you are just walking through and you feel the pain small and then you move on. So you sit down, plan well, research, and then start application. If you need any advice, I am there to support you, but I'm not there to write for you.
Thank
I'm there to
you.
support you. So when you come, okay, maybe you need a support in SOP, write the SOP, let me look at it for you. If it
Mm-hmm.
is okay, I'll let you know. If there's something I want you to work on, I'll insert my comment so that you work on. Because as you do it like that, you also learn. So that
Mm-hmm.
one day, if we are not in the business, you can also help those who will come for us. Okay, so thank you very much, and have a wonderful evening. As for me, I'm now coming to start my day.
I know, right? So thank you very much. So those that are asking for the YouTube channel, I'll reply to your messages. And then does Solomon has yes, he does. I will share that with you as well. Thank you all for the comments, for engaging, and joining us. And most of the time we get questions after the event. If don't worry, always look out for us. My door is always open, and I try my best to give you the information I have at hand. And do not take our words here as a Bible. Do your own research as well. And before you know it, you probably know more than what we've said here. So do not underestimate that as well. And look out for changing the narrative. We do this every month. So this is our first for the year, and there's many more to come. And also, AAA Foundation has an event tomorrow. We're educating ourselves on advocating for social justice for street connected kids. It's not everybody on the street that is a bad child, they're just children of bad circumstance. So it's just to educate ourselves. So kindly join us tomorrow as we have that event as well. So Solomon, without wasting much more time, and the fact that it's
Ah,
9 o'clock here as well, thank you very much. Give us goodbye in Japan. Just speak Japanese for us and say bye bye.
okay. Sayonara.
Sayonara, whatever. Thank you all very much. Have a good evening. Enjoy your weekend. Don't do what I wouldn't do. And enjoy the Valentine weekend. Some of us are now going to start our Valentine. Bye. Have a
All
good
right.
evening.
Bye.